decided to come up with the story of the best back seats in the country, you know what? It just had to include the Maserati Quattroporte. As a matter of fact, it didn't just have to include it, it had to be the first. Because I know we're going to probably go through cars that are in the millions and millions and millions, but this one, this particular unit, is priceless. You can't put a price on a little girl's life. And this was the actual car that raised enough money for an operation for a little girl, Alessandra. Every other car that we're going to get on the list will be run into the tens and tens of millions, and I know that for sure. But this one is absolutely priceless, because this backseat here, this very actual backseat that I'm sitting in, saved the little girl's life. It raised enough money for an operation of Alessandra, for a little heart, and I don't know if you caught the story, but this thing made history. That's why I made sure it was the first car that we review for this special feature. What you're getting with this is something completely different. You're getting Italian luxury. It's so completely different to anything that you will try out there. I mean, you've got the heritage of Ferrari, you've got the workmanship there in the little factory there in Modena where they handcraft everything, and the Alcantara is stitched together perfectly, and just the way the cabin feels and smells is just unbelievably awesome. I didn't know passion actually had a smell until I got into this car. And it's just so involving and rich, and the feeling of this leather that's perfectly complemented by these wonderful wood grains here that are just not overly polished, they're not overly done, there's no finishing lacquer and all that, because they don't need to do it. They just use the finest ingredients and they put it together with so much love and so much attention to detail that it just makes you feel like you're part of the family, you were part of the process, that you were thought of when this car was built. And that's what makes it so spectacular. And then, of course, you've got your table here. That's always very handy when you're working. You want to work in the back. You want to take over a country or something like that. That works out pretty well. Of course, you got your dual climate control system here, separate temperatures. Of course, you've got this wonderful roof line. This is all made from Alcantara. It's just fabulous to touch. It's just wonderful. Then you got your privacy screens here, of course. That's just so the outside world doesn't need to bother you. Always keep that up there. Nice and wonderful. Of course, you've got these, it's just the way things are put together, the armrests being nice and put together here. You don't need anymore all the goodies that you'll find in other modern cars, because you're buying a different experience here. You're involving yourself in the process of what it's like to build pure passion on wheels. While others will brag to you about how quiet their cars are, Maserati brag about how noisy it is. Listen to this. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's passion. It's that engineering coming through. It's Ferrari pouring through, and the feeling comes through you like warm cognac through your veins, and just very, very soothing. And that is what's so special about this car. And of course, at the end of the day, it's this feeling here when you know that your head is resting on that logo right there. We start off with the Lexus LS. Now this comes in either a 460 or a 600. Now the interior trim, exactly the same, just the engine and the hybrid system. What really sets this car apart is the little details, like the climate concierge, the reclinable chairs with ottoman, and of course the beautiful wood and leather trim all around the cabin. Surprised to see a Japanese car on such a prestigious list? Well, not as surprised as the Brits were when Prince Albert of Monaco picked this exact car to be his official wedding car, or how the Scots might have felt when Yamazaki had the gall to make single malt whiskey and charge almost $13,000 a bottle for it. Yep, when it comes to obsession, nobody beats the Japanese, and when they're on a relentless pursuit of perfection, it's best to step out of their way. It's all in the details. This is what makes this car so incredible, perhaps because they don't come from the heritage and the history and the passion that the Europeans have with luxury cars. They kind of go further out of their way to prove a point. That's what I think it is. Then you have this here, the massage. Hello? No, it's not a phone, it's not a phone. It is the massage function. Now you press that button. Oh! Ooh, yeah. Ah, it's kneading. It's like a proper massage chair doing this in your back. Oh, yes. Oh. This is perhaps, I think, the single biggest feature that sets it apart and puts it on our list. Check this out. It's a one-button function. You just press it like that and look at this. All right, automatically this thing will get out of its way. I love the way this headrest just plops down and disappears. Gives me a full view of the road. And not just that, check out what's happening here. I've also got my ottoman. Oh, if this is not the best place to kill traffic, oh my God. This is just fantastic. You know, all the heavy rains we've been having recently and all those several-hour traffic jams, this is where you want to be. This is the place. It's the bomb. Lexus also have this thing they call climate concierge. It's not just a fancy term either. See these things here, they've got sensors. Not just do you have 4 zones for climate that you can choose. So I've got my temperature here, driver, passenger, and etc. But these sensors here pick up body heat. So for example, if you have jumped out from a cold area and it's raining and we pick up a passenger on the road, when they jump in, it'll automatically adjust so that they climatize to the car faster. And it's not getting into a nice cold vehicle, which I'm already accustomed to. Very intelligent. Another thing that they have is the 19-speaker Mark Levinson sound system. It's all over here. They have just beautiful surround sound. I mean, it's one of the finest systems available in any luxury car, and you just got to hear it to believe it. Now also, it's the little details like this. For example, not many people would pay attention to putting felt in areas where you wouldn't even never see, but Lexus go as far as that. It's those details that count, and it provides sound deadening. It just gives you this whole feeling of somebody just spending their life to just make yours better.
When you talk about luxury, no list is complete without a Jaguar. And for this one, we've got the long wheelbase XJ. With its lavish form-hugging, supple leather, complemented with twin-needle stitching and carefully crafted piano black and real wood veneers, it's no wonder it makes it to our top 5.
The most difficult thing about reviewing a Jaguar from the back seat is not speaking in a British accent, see? Because it just seems so wrong to be in a car like this and sound like I do. I mean, it's all the heritage, it's all the movies that we've seen and all that make this car so special. But what exactly is it about the back seat that is so special? Put yourself in the perfect position here. Headrest is really nice and soft. They've actually got extra padding compared to the other models that I've tried. Something also quite unique about the Jag is the 10.1-inch monitor, which is bigger than a regular iPad. And that's right up front here. You've also got the remote control. And what's really cool about this is you could be watching 2 different things going on in the back seat here. I could be watching a movie on a USB, and the partner here could be watching on a DVD, and we can do what all teenagers do nowadays and sit in the same room but not talk to each other and have our own virtual worlds. Having said that, you can control everything from this little handy little remote control here. Shove that back in there. But if it's all just a bit too much for you, you can use the massage function. So you've got the shiatsu. Ooh, wow. Ooh, yeah, ooh, right there. Oh, ooh, just buy me dinner first before. Oh, yeah. You've got several functions here. You've got 4 different controls for the shiatsu massage. If you can't afford that, all you need to do is just drive along EDSA really fast, and it gives you the same effect. You know, because the suspension is very well sorted out. Also, so you've got your privacy screens here. It's a very nice little world back here, actually. Very, very exclusive. Nice aroma of the leather. That's very important when you're measuring or evaluating luxury in the back seat. You need to smell it. If you don't smell it, if it doesn't smell rich, then there's something wrong. This smells very rich. The soft grain leather, that is exclusive to the Jaguar XJ, so even above normal, regular Jags. You've got this finer materials that they use. Also, the seat, very, very, very supportive. It's almost bucket-like. It's like perforated so that you get some air through your back and you don't end up sweaty, or it could be heated if you're in a different country. And what's really nice too is this sunroof here. Normally when I'm driving around in a car with a sunroof, I don't normally notice it because I'm driving. So I don't really appreciate the sunroof as much. But when you're in the back seat of a Jaguar, you get to see, it's quite beautiful. Like if you're here in the port right now, you see all these beautiful buildings and it just gives you this different feeling. When we decided to come up with the story of the best back seats in the country, you know what? It just had to include, for an operation for a little girl, Alessandra. Every other car that we're going to get on the list will be run into the tens and tens of millions, and I know that for sure. But this one is absolutely priceless because this back seat here, this very actual back seat that I'm sitting in, saved the little girl's life. It raised enough money for an operation of Maserati Quattroporte. As a matter of fact, it didn't just have to include it, it had to be the first. Because I know we're going to probably go through cars that are in the millions and millions and millions, but this one, this particular unit, is priceless. You can't put a price on a little girl's life. And this was the actual car that raised enough money